Good morning, everybody. This is a great turnout, and I'm pretty sure you're all not here to see me. I'm guessing you are all here to see Dan, because I see a lot of mechanics in the room. So welcome, fleet supervisors and mechanics, to the NIAP Capital District meeting. I appreciate you all coming. So if we can start, we usually start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So Brian, I'm gonna have you come up first before we start our awards. So I have Brian Trask here. He is on the board of directors with the state level NIAP with me. He is running for executive office and just wanted to introduce himself to you guys this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for allowing me to come up and join your chapter for the day. My name is Brian Trask. I'm the Director of Transportation at Unitego Central School District. That happens to be the district that Mark Hannerhan lives in. If you know Mark over here in the corner, if I'd known he was coming, he could have picked me up this morning on the way here. But anyway, I started as a driver in 2003, and I kind of worked my way up through the ranks. And it's a smaller district, upstate, pretty rural, so there's times that I'm the chief cook and bottle washer, as probably a lot of you guys are familiar with some of these upstate rural schools. But I've been on the board of directors for NIAP since 2018, and I'm currently in the process of going through the master instructor program for SED. So that's been a little bit of a journey this year as well. So I just want to come up, introduce myself. I'll be here if you guys have any questions, but I am running for NIAP treasurer. And I guess I was just come up and ask for your support this July at the conference. And anything you guys would like to know about me, I'm here. And thank you very much for having me. Appreciate your time.
So we'll start our day off with our awards and presentations. So I want to start with the nominations that we put out this year. We only had 3 nominations for SBDIs, so we did not have anybody be nominated for the 19A or Employee of the Year. So we decided that we were going to use those funds and honor all 3 nominations for their SBDIs. So if I could please have you stand up and come up. I have Mr. Paul Bangaroo from North Colony Central School District. So I'm just going to read this real quick. So this Paul has been in our fleet maintenance supervisor for the past 3 years. Paul is extremely personable and likes to get to know people. He is non-judgmental and a man of faith. Becoming an SBDI would be the next step for him, as he would like to move into administrative role. Becoming an SBDI would give him the great experience in public speaking, which is required to be an administrator. Thank you, Paul. The next person I'd like to call up is Ms. Chrissy Stewart. Chrissy is from Hartford Central School District, and her nominator wrote, Chrissy Stewart came to my department in 2018 and started as a bus attendant monitor. She works as an aide in the elementary school as well. She then wanted to become a bus driver in 2019. I trained her to earn her CDL Class B license, which she obtained in January 2020, and became a full-time bus driver with the district. She is compassionate about her duties as a school bus driver and the students she transports. Chrissy came to me with interest in furthering her career in the transportation field, and I feel she would be an incredible asset to an SBDI for my district in New York State. Thank you, Chrissy. Okay, and our last award winner is Ms. Tracy Ann Gort. Tracy is dedicated and reliable employee with a passion for learning and sharing knowledge. Tracy became a trainer in 2020 and a 19A certified examiner in 2023. She is always thoroughly professional and has an excellent track record in producing safe drivers and attendants for Shenendehowa. Over the past several years, I've been able to closely observe Tracy as she conducts her duties, and I feel she has developed into a highly regarded trainer within our program. Her attitude is always positive, and she communicates the course material very effectively with our trainees. Thank you very much, Tracy. So I'm going to let Belinda now come up with for our other awards. No, you can do it.
So I'd like to take a minute to honor some folks here who have really dedicated themselves to the transportation industry. I reached out to several people to ask them to give me some things that I can say about Mel Monica, and I'm gonna just let you know what people are saying about you, Mel. Are you ready? Mel Monica came to Saratoga schools as a routing specialist many years ago. Mel brought with her a vast knowledge of school transportation business, a philosophy of teamwork with her other office staff, and a belief in listening to drivers' concerns and working with them to find common ground in the best interest of our students. She was able to learn and master computerized routing system and get involved in developing and teaching student safety programs. She was a big part of Love the Bus Month by helping with various acknowledgements for drivers, bus attendants, and bus maintenance staff, as well as various other special days to acknowledge our staff. I was saddened when Mel accepted a position as the transportation director in Corinth, but also very happy for her as she worked hard to earn that position. I was very proud to have worked with a true school transportation professional for many years. You know who said that? Mr. Jeff Wainwright. Somebody also said, Mel has been an asset to all school districts she has worked for and colleagues she has worked with. She is an amazing mentor and a world of knowledge. Many of us wouldn't be where we are today in transportation if it wasn't for Mel's encouragement and mentoring. Mel has the best student management training skills and is incredibly child-oriented. She is not afraid to stick her feet into anything, and she is the first to volunteer when help is needed. Mel always shows appreciation for her staff and always makes wonderful pancakes. You have to come visit us. Mel is a lifelong friend who will always be cherished. She will be missed dearly, and the transportation family will lose a valuable asset. You know who wrote that? Yeah. So it is my pleasure and honor to present Melody Monica, our President's Award for her career in transportation. And Melody, we bestow the Capital Chapter bestows upon you a lifetime membership.
Oh, wasn't prepared at all. This is a wow thing. Thank you all very much. Thank the chapter. I probably won't be able to get any of this out, but kids are our business, right? That's what we do. Love them. It's a huge step to actually retire. It really is. Because I'm going to miss all you guys. And I just want to say, looking around the room, there's been so many people that have touched my career and my life. Harold and Craig and Buddha, where are you? He was my dispatcher down in Albany, and now I'm so proud of him because he's a transportation supervisor. So many people around the room have had an impact on my life, and I just love this job and the networking that happens, because when if you're a new person and you're insecure, there's always somebody that you can talk to get some ideas. So it's just awesome. It's an awesome group. So thank you very much for this. I appreciate it so much.
So we also invited the business official from Corinth, if you would like to come up, say a few words. Corinth. Sorry. Caught it.
Good morning, everybody. So I've been at Corinth for about 1.5 years. And when I first walked into the transportation building, I was really amazed at what a welcoming atmosphere I walked into. And no offense, I don't have a lot of experience with other transportation facilities, but they were a little more industrial. That's kind of what I was used to. And there was little pictures of yellow school buses on the wall, a real organized area for folks, drivers to submit things, to pick up what they needed, motivational slogans all around the break room, student artwork, thanking the bus drivers, letters to bus drivers. And my point in mentioning that is what I came to realize over time was that came from a very genuine place. Mel really cares about the bus drivers. She really cares that they have the resources that they need against all odds, which I don't have to tell anybody in here. She cares deeply about the children. She's so heavily involved in school programs to help children get acclimated to the bus. And she just works so hard to bring those two worlds together, to make as peaceful as a bus ride as possible, which we all know in this room is a very difficult thing. And we all know in this room that people outside of this room don't really have the level of appreciation that they should. I don't know really how she does it. We've been down so many bus drivers, as I'm sure you are as well. I guess it's a rare combination of grace and grit. She guides her staff against all odds and gets our kids to where they need to be on a regular basis. And I'm so thankful that she was my transportation supervisor starting out at Corinth. On behalf of the district, I'd like to wish her a long, healthy, happy retirement. And from myself, Mel, I just want to thank you. In the last 1.5 years, I've learned so much from you about the world of school transportation. I really consider myself a better business administrator for the time that I've spent with you. Nothing but the best.
One, two. Great, guys. Thanks.
Congratulations, Melanie. 25 years ago, the transportation industry would be forever changed when Al Karam entered it. Much like everything he does, Al took it by storm and quickly became a sought-out leader due to his vast knowledge, teamwork philosophy, and lead-by-example attitude. Al's integrity, advocacy, and passion for school transportation and student safety is immeasurable and always at the forefront. He is never afraid to speak his mind, especially when it comes to the safety of students and staff, and more often than not, he is the loudest in the room. He has the courage to stand for his convictions, even if that meant he's standing alone. He never allowed that to stop him from doing what's right. Sorry. Al's formidable leadership, mentoring, developed, and cultivated effective future leaders. He invested in the growth of others and created a pipeline of capable leaders who can navigate challenges, inspire others, and achieve goals. I embrace solutions, not excuses, he would say, teaching a valuable lesson, creating critical thinkers and solution-based leaders in the process. He provided guidance, support, and valuable insights to anyone who needed it or asked for it. He shared his knowledge and life experiences to help aspiring leaders grow and excel. Al's mission-first attitude is second to none. He would say, You must always live in the future. And my favorite game of all, I'm not here. You are the director. What are you going to do about it? Teaching the importance of data-driven decisions and forecasting empowered his team to make good and efficient decisions, achieving and at times exceeding goals. I can go on forever talking about Al's outstanding leadership, mentoring, and coaching of others, from his time as a United States Marine, to his time at Bethlehem Central School, to his time as Director of Transportation at Shenandoah. Well, he'll close out his career. An end of an era, some will say. I will close with this. When asked to describe Al in one word, the following words were said. Are you ready? Fair, confident, innovative, passionate, dedicated, self-aware, trustworthy, empathetic, problem solver, committed, honest, and inspiring. All imperative traits for a leader. So it is my pleasure and honor to present the first Capital Chapter of NIAP Leadership Award to Al Karam. I want to point out too that the award was made by one of our drivers at Shen, specifically for Al. Kyle here. Capital Area Chapter of NIAP Leadership Award presented to Al Karam. A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. They do not set out to be a leader, but they become one by the quality of their actions and the integrity of their intent. In the end, leaders are much like eagles. They don't flock, you find them one at a time. Would you like to say a few words now?
Yeah, give me that podium, I'd probably take a whole time for a meeting, but. You wanna know what my thoughts are? I encourage you to read the article that I posted on LinkedIn, but it's also on the School Bus Ride magazine that NAPP puts out. So I look forward by my good friend Peter, thank you so much. That's excellent. So yeah, it'll give you my philosophy and the things I learned. A lot of it was mentioned here. I'm mission focused. Focus on staff, especially training, and thanks to my bosses for supporting me through the years, especially when they listened. And I think that time, first time, I asked for $50,000. They added to our training budget or to our pay, so we can pay drivers, bus attendants, mechanics to have more and more training. Professional development is a must in our profession. 2 times a year is not enough because we are in a safe and sensitive job, right? Lives are at stake every day. And that's a commitment that is really required. And thank you so much for doing that, because you know that is paying off in many different ways. So, and of course, it's all about the kids, you know. Laws, regulations, policies, and procedures are in place for a reason, and never deviate from them, irrespective of driver shortage, mechanic shortage, or any other kind of shortage. Never ever let the standards drop. We have to do everything we can to maintain that level of safety for the children, as Mel said. It's all about the children. I thank you for all the friendships. You know, when I first got here, and I was introduced to Peter Cunning, they said, you know, that's the guy you want to learn from because he's the he's a politician. Here we are 25 years later. That would be yes. But truly, the friendship that I've developed over the years were a source for me to, none of us are an island unto ourselves, right? And so the Peter Cunnings, Jeff Wainwright, Peter Manella, everybody, Dave Christopher, you know, I can say her name them all, right? John Myers, I lean on all of them. So their friendship. I appreciate everything that they've done for me to get to the level that I was able to achieve in this. So thank you so very much. And thank you, Dr. Robinson, Kathy, for your support, because without it, none of this would have happened. I guarantee you.
Thank you, and good luck to Al, and remember, I have your phone. And I would like to thank Dr. Robinson, Superintendent of Schools at Shenandoah, and Kathy Wetmore Chase, Superintendent of Finance at Shenandoah Schools, and invite them both up if they would like to say a few words about their time with Al. He's a hot seat for once.
Thank you very much, Belinda, and thank you all very much as well for what you do in the school district that you represent. And I think the young lady in the back who's retiring, I say young because every time I look at people retiring, I'm thinking like, boy, maybe I should consider that. And I think that the sentiments that were shared about, certainly we're in the kid business, right? And so that's what we do every day. And so your work is crucial to that work. And specific to Al, just a quick little story. When we were interviewing, Dave Christopher was with us for a long time. So I worked with Dave probably, you were 15 years out, about 10 years with Dave. And so Dave was leaving and people were like, oh man, you know, we have big shoes to fill. I was like, well, he's tall, but I'm not sure how big his feet are. And so in come this guy in the interview, and I think he did it to try to intimidate me. So if you know Al, he has this dog collar as a bracelet, so he kind of did this. And I'm thinking, okay, he wants to show me that he was in the Marines. So I didn't have anything to show him back. I'm going to show him a bracelet, you know. And I say that because symbolically, I think that from that moment we realized that we needed someone who understood the mission and understood that there is no give. There's never given up. We know we have to get to. And certainly we have seen it over the last several years where we get, Al and I have this 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning text routine. It's like, okay, it's 30 drivers down. It's 40 drivers down. And it always ends with, but we'll find a way to make it happen. And I think that's symbolic to who Al is as a person, who he is as a professional. He's someone that you know that when he says it's done, it will be done. And so Al, I appreciate you, my friend. You're leaving Shen Transportation in a great place. It's not official yet, but the potential soon to be heir apparent. I think we have an interview next week or something. Just it's kind of like me torture her for an hour and a half just to put her through the test. And it's great though that we know that the legacy you leave will be built upon because you have prepared people, including two of your colleagues here, maybe 3 of your colleagues here, two of your colleagues here this morning, who make sure that the Shen operations will continue to carry the same mission. We'll figure out a way to get kids to school because when kids are not in school, they're not learning. And so it's not even an option. And I appreciate all of you for taking that vow to making sure we do that piece of it. And Al, my friend, we'll be friends for a long time. We still have a few bourbon dates to catch up on. So looking forward to that as well. So again, thank you all for what you do. And Al, thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I could be up here for hours talking about Al. Shen has been so lucky to have Al as part of our administrative team. Not only has he contributed all of his hours and sweat equity, but he's developed a great team that has also developed all of those skills. I just can't say enough. I'm always eager to hear Al's ideas, and he always brings ideas that are well thought out. He's done the cost analysis. He's, researched it from top to bottom. So I know when Al brings an idea to me, he always brings solutions, maybe more than one solution, but certainly you've built a better place than when you came, and it was a great place when you started. It's a greater place when you leave. And I'm so proud to have worked with you, and thank you for all of your efforts and all of your work.
Maybe you want to do poster awards? So I'm gonna just swap this out for my computer for a minute. Oh, great. I broke it. I did. All right.
All right, so good morning. I'm gonna ask Jerry to stay right there because I'm losing my voice. Can't really be without the microphone too much. So. Okay, so this year's poster contest theme was driving safely into the future. And we had 3 candidates submit submissions for that. I believe there were more done at their school level. But then they sent the final 3 to us. And it was very exciting because all 3 of them actually placed at the state level. So the first one is Division 1, 2nd grade Bethlehem CSD. So this person placed first in our contest, but also first at the state level and is going on to nationals. Our 3rd grade, which is Division 2, was Emily Rosenblatt, also from Bethlehem. So she placed 2nd place at the state level, in addition to being first place at ours. And then for Division 3, yeah, that was my thought too. So she placed first in ours and also first at the states, and will be going on to nationals as well. So I'm impressed because even the Division 1, they draw better than I do. But this upcoming school year, I'll make sure to get the information out sooner. I was out on maternity leave. That was part of the slowdown with that. But keep up the good artwork, and thank you for spreading the word so it helps get our students participating. Thank you.
Thank you. Cody, you want to present next? Okay, you want to present? Each part. We'll do our best. Please work. I have no idea what that's. There you go. Great. Everybody, I'd like to introduce Dan Boyea, the fleet supervisor in Shenandoah, to discuss his board. Wait. The service board.
The service board. right, so like you said, my name is Dan Boyea with Shenandoah Central School District. And today I'm gonna go over our new shop scheduling system that we went live with this year. Opening day of school, we launched it. And since we launched this, we've never looked back. It has been such a valuable tool, not just to the garage, but to our whole transportation team. So from dispatchers to routing specialists, everybody, drivers, it keeps everybody involved. So before it was mentioned, it was there's an article in STN magazine, the May edition. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it is in there. And before we get into the new board, I think it's important that you see where we came from, because I've been in a lot of shops and they all operate pretty much the same way. So our first board that we had, I don't even have pictures of it because it was when I first started at Shenandoah, which was like 9-10 years ago. And this board consisted of 2 large 4x8 sheets of paper that were on the wall. And it was divided up into squares, into like a grid. And it was 4 of them, so about 28 buses per grid. All the bus numbers were across the top and all the months were down the side. So when a mechanic was given a PM, he could go to the board and see when the last brake inspection was done, when the last oil change was done, and we could make adjustments then. But that's an older way to do things, and we've moved on. Along with this system, with the paper, there was another sheet of paper on the desk. And on this sheet of paper was all the work that we had in progress. So if we had a bus at Leonard, it was on that piece of paper, and it was just a regular sheet of paper. But it was on there, and the date that it went up. Then if it needed parts, that was on there. If we had a bus in the body shop, that was on the sheet of paper. So this sheet of paper had a lot of valuable information. It was our day-to-day workflow. And it got awful cluttered. When Leonard brought a bus back, it would just get scribbled off. And so it's back in the fleet because they didn't want to rewrite the whole sheet. And there were little notes on the sides. It was difficult to use. So when I started, we were constantly rewriting this sheet. And then when like Matthews would bring a bus back, that would be on there. Everything was on this sheet of paper. If we had a bus with a check engine light waiting on parts, it was also on that sheet of paper. So the board itself, they had to use pencils. And, you know, not everybody's penmanship is the same, it's not always legible. And we're going back to the days when everybody was using the pencils, and, you know, you get the black marks, and it was hard to follow. And that was one of the big issues with that board, is it didn't affect very many people. It reached the guys in the shop, and that was it. So even if a driver were to come out into the garage and look at our system, they would have a hard time following it. So we wanted a system that would reach everybody. So we got rid of that, the pieces of paper. We're using Fleet Vision for all of our scheduling. So there's no need for all that stuff on the wall. It's old school. And this is what we went to. It's just a dry erase board. But this system was night and day over the paper system. So it was very fluent. You could change it. If we want to do AC checks before the season kicks in, we can make a square for that and put all our buses in and check it off as we go forward. This obviously was in December, and all those buses on the top, that's all of our DOT list. So I would speak at safety meetings and invite the drivers to come out into the garage and see the board so that they can sort of get an idea of when we're going to be taking their bus for DOT. So you can see if it's on December 8th, we're gonna probably take it the day or two before that. However long we could, but they would know about when we're gonna take their bus. Now, not all the drivers came out in the garage. A few of them did. You had some people that were really involved with this and wanted to know when we were gonna take their bus. They wanted to try to learn it. And we also had a squares for what was off premises. You know, things that we're doing, that's some first light. This is what the board looks like. So the big blue one, that was that sheet of paper that was on the desk. So now we don't have to rewrite that every day. We can just wipe it off and move forward. When Leonard brings a bus back, we just wipe it off and move forward. So you see how the two systems are very different, the paper system and then the dry erase board. And what's in our body shop, that's there. That used to be on that sheet of paper. So we kind of took that sheet of paper and divided it up. So it was easy to see. So now you would notice mechanics especially would be standing looking at the board. They could understand it. They could see it. It was neat. These pictures are not so neat because this was towards the end of this system's life. So the board got well used and it didn't erase well anymore. We could have went with another one, but we didn't. Because once again, this system didn't reach everyone. It reached more people than the first one, but it didn't reach everyone. And the screen that you're gonna see is not our first version. I really wanted a smart board in the shop. So when I write on the smart board, everybody can see it on their smartphones, on their tablets, if they're at home, on the computer, anywhere they are. To the point where our staff was able to get us one, a loaner. And we tried it. And what we ran into is when you write on a smart board, unless you're viewing the information on another smart board, it's different. So it might not fit on a smartphone. The lines are different, the font is different, the colors are different. It just wasn't gonna work. But we did design a Google Sheet that did work. So after trial and error, we figured all this out. We kept the sheet and got rid of the smart board. And once we proved that it worked, the district approved the purchase of a 70-inch screen along with a Google Chrome box. And a Google Chrome box is nothing more than a little computer that just runs Google. But that's all we needed for this project, and it works. So why would we want a schedule that everyone can see anyway? I mean, you can definitely see some negative sides of everybody seeing everything that's going on, but we see it as very positive. So we want everybody to know. And I'll be the first one to say that things are really busy. During our head mechanics meetings, which usually take place on Wednesdays, once a month, we're still virtual. So we have all our meetings virtual. And we always have that time when you're waiting for everybody to log in to a virtual meeting. Starts at 10 o'clock, you're there a little early. We get to talk to a lot of the different districts, a lot of you in this room. We get to talk with you guys and we get to hear the problems that you're having in your shop. And we share our problems and ways we're gonna fix them. And the largest issue that all of the districts are having is, of course, the driver shortage. So a lot of districts have their mechanics driving both in the AM and in the PM. That's not a whole lot of time to be working on buses. And your deadlines, your maintenance schedules, they keep coming. So I know a lot of you are 30 days or once a month for a PM. we are 56 days. Or for a large bus, every 56 days it has to come through the shop. Our brake inspections are every 14,000 miles or once a year. I know a lot of you are 10,000 miles or once a year. But whatever schedule you have worked with DOT, they approve it. So we all create our own schedules. They approve it and make sure that we're sticking to it. And I was speaking with the inspector the other day, who's telling me that some of the districts are starting to lapse. So your PMs might start lapsing, your brake inspections. And this is all safety stuff. I mean, that's why they make sure that we're sticking to our plan. So how do we fix this issue? We could hire more mechanics, but we all know that that's not so easily done. You know, we at Shenandoah Hall have been looking for a mechanic for quite some time with little luck. We could use overtime. Overtime works. Mechanics love it. They stay a little bit late, maybe come in a little early, get some of the work done. But it's not really a permanent solution. It helps. We can outsource some work. Maybe we'll outsource a few of the jobs that we would have done in-house. That works. I know at Shenandoah Hall, we will start to outsource some work if we need to, so we don't fall behind. But when you outsource work, it comes with its own issues. So you'll be on the phone quite a bit more, whether it's scheduling the work, checking on your warranties, following up on your work. If you're like me, you call your vendors all the time. And do we have anything coming back? Where are we with this? I need an update on our buses that you have. So I like to know, I like to be able to plan. And then we have our drivers. And like they said before, I mean, picking up kids is what we do. So that's number one. If the buses aren't running, we don't need to fix them. So we're always bending over backwards for our transport, for our dispatchers, whatever they need, they're going to get. We'll get buses back. But our drivers, we want them to feel that their complaints are being taken seriously. So just because we're busy, we're not going to just park it. It's fine. You don't know what you're talking about. Just park. They do know what they're talking about. And maybe they just aren't comfortable. So I'll give you a for instance. I had a driver the other day, and our drivers are stepping up to the plate and really driving other runs that they normally don't run. And sometimes that comes with taking a different bus. So this particular driver said that she could smell a burning smell. And I kind of knew the bus was going into a region. But she pulled it up to the garage. I was explaining it to her. And she was listening to me, but she wasn't really understanding it. So what I did is I wrote it on our board. I typed it in. She could see me put it on. She could see it on her smartphone. She could see it from the driver's lounge where she was. Or if she went home, she could see it on a tablet or a computer. And then she could see it taken off. So her mind was set at ease a little bit more that we paid attention to that. We didn't just blow it off. We looked at it and then took the time to take it off the board. So the drivers want to be involved. They want to know. The other thing that the drivers always say is, why do you have my bus again? You just had it for a PM. Yeah, we did. But now it's due for DOT. And they can get angry about that. And I kind of understand it because it's a scheduled thing. The difference is that the drivers don't know our schedule. So by showing the drivers, it's a visual, they can see it. So using this system does exactly that. It keeps everyone involved. from our dispatchers, the mechanics, drivers, even our vendors, if we choose, can be involved in this. And this is what the new system looks like. It looks a lot like our dry erase board, only it's very neat. It works really well. One of the nicest things about this board is it's live data. When I write something on the board, everyone sees it. Whether they're at home, they can see it on the weekend if they want. They can see it from any device, and it fits. So it's not like the smart board where it changes when, depending on the device that you're viewing it on. It stays just like this. When you send the link, you send it just once. If I send a link to this board to all of our drivers, you're going to get that when we first did it, opening day of school. You're going to get that group of drivers, the same ones that came out and looked at the old board, because they want to know, they're into it. But they're in the driver's lounge and they're talking, looking at their smartphone, and they say, look, my bus is coming due for DOT. Yours is too. And the other gentleman, he didn't look at his link. And here we are 2 weeks later. And the guy says, yeah, I think he sent me that link. Let me find it. And he opens it up. Now he got that link 2 weeks ago. The information he's going to see is the latest information. All that work from 2 weeks ago is gone. That's old news. We don't even need to save it. So the link, doesn't matter how old it is, it's going to work until we say we're going to change it. So the link is always the same. So when you send out the link, you can make people editors, and editors can change things. They can add jobs, take jobs off, and everybody's going to see it, what they change. They can also delete squares and delete your system here. But it's not too hard to get it back. And we'll get into that a little bit later. I think we have 4 editors at Shenandoah. 2 of us use it religiously. That's myself and the second shift lead. We use it every day, but if one of us is out or both of us are out, Al he's an editor, and so is George. He's an editor. So there's always somebody that could step in. Then there are commenters. Now you can have as many commenters as you like. I made all of our dispatchers commenters, and our routing specialist is a commenter. Our director of facilities, and one person at grounds and one person at maintenance is an editor. These are the people and our vendors. Christine Lennox from Leonard Bus Sales and Sean Falova from Matthews. They can edit, or not edit, excuse me, they can comment. So we can collaborate on things. And the reason I did the maintenance and grounds is because sometimes there's a Bobcat on there or a John Deere tractor that we handle that repair. So we'll look at it. But school buses is what we do. We'll give a quick look to try to help them out. If it's a big job, we'll outsource it. You know, we have to keep up with our schedule. So then there's viewers. And viewers can do just that. They can just view it. So that's all of our drivers. They're all viewers. So I have shared this link with over 300 people. And believe it or not, it's worked really well. Very few issues. Because what it has done is really opened up communication among all of our departments, especially in transportation. So drivers are now informed on the drivers are now informed on when their bus is going to be about when their bus is going to be pulled for DOT. And they can see the status of their repairs. So if we have their bus, you know how drivers sometimes will be like, oh, they've still got it. Well, now they can see why we still have it. Got a radiator on order, parts on order, right next to it. So the driver looks at it, he knows he's not going to get his bus back. He's not going to go argue with dispatch about it. There's a radiator on order and maybe the parts back order. So the driver will know he's going to get a different bus. And then they'll know when their bus is being pulled for DOT. You know, the day before, maybe 2 days before. So what used to be, hey, you just had my bus for PM, and now you're holding it again. Now what I get is that they'll come out with their smartphone, or they'll come out and look at the board, and they'll say, you're holding my bus for PM. Yes, that's true. Well, it's also coming due for DOT in 2 days. Can I stay in my spare bus, my sub bus, until DOT is done? And I'll tell them, say, I don't have a problem with that, but always check with dispatch to make sure that they can do it. So even if we can't, and they get their spare bus again, they knew about it. So they had time to think about it. Coming into work, they knew that their bus was going to be due for DOT in 2 days. So either they're going to get their bus back, or we're going to have to take it again in 2 days. Or maybe they could stay in a sub bus. But you see how the attitude is different now. It's a friendlier, they're involved. They can see why we have to take their bus again. And then of course it helps when we take it for a PM. If it's not going to make the next PM before it needs a brake inspection or an oil change, we'll do that early. So we're never taking their bus for a brake inspection or for an oil change. We're only taking it for a PM or DOT. Those are the 2 reasons, other than breakdowns. And while we're talking about DOT, how many times does DOT cancel? I mean, we get all our buses ready, we're waiting for them in the morning, and they cancel last minute. And it happens. And DOT is really busy too, and they're shorthanded, just like we're shorthanded, just like our vendors are shorthanded. So we've got to be able to roll with these punches. We've got to be able to work smarter. And this system helps with that. With the old way, all those buses that were along the top, when we went back to, there we go, all those buses that are coming due for DOT, I would write this all up in an email. And it was a nice looking email. It had all the DOT buses were in bold print, red lettering, little asterisks in the front. And the title on the top was buses for the first half of December or whatever month we were in. And I would email it to everyone. Then I would also print off 2 copies of it. I'd hang one in the hallway by the mailboxes where they're going to see it. And the other one I would hang up by dispatch where they're going to get their keys so they could see it. So even if people didn't pay attention to their phones and stuff, they could see it. And that system worked. But then DOT cancels. So now I got to open that email back up, change the dates, depending on how long they're going to till the next inspection. We might have to give some buses back. And then reprint them out and then hang them in the hallway up by dispatch and hope that they don't cancel again. Now, all I need to do, going the wrong way. All I need to do is go up to the top of that and change the dates. It's that simple. And then I'm back to work in the shop. So I don't need to go and print all this stuff out. I don't need to spend a lot of time emailing. Now, if I want to, say there's a lot of changes, I can right click on any one of those buses and select comment. And when you comment, you have to put the asterisk at, all transportation. And just a simple email like, guys, there's been some changes with our DOT schedule. Please check the board to see how your bus has been affected. That's it. I'm back in the shop. It's that easy. And all the drivers are responsible for looking at the board. And you'll see when you make a change, all of the little icons along the top, that's how many people are looking at the board. So you can see it. So you can see your reach. That when you make a change, it started out with just a couple. Now it's more, it's more, it's more. As people get used to it, here we're almost at the end of this year. We've got almost our whole transportation department looking at this, much less we've got our vendors helping out with it. So dispatch and routing, they can see, they will get an email from this board containing the buses that I need help for the morning, for PM, or for DOT, or for whatever reason. Now I get to work at 5 in the morning and dispatch is already there and the phone is ringing off the hook and drivers are calling in sick. She's calling other drivers to come in and fill in. The last thing she wants is me taking keys off the board that she's already got set for the morning. But that was the old way. Now what happens is I walk in, the phone's still ringing off the hook. She's calling in other drivers and she points to a little pile of keys on the counter because she already knows. So it's just sort of using the technology that's already around us. Vendors can see our workload and how many buses we have to get up to them for warranty repair, or if we're just subletting work to them because we're busy. We got a lot of people calling in sick. Like I said, those deadlines keep coming and we don't want them to lapse. That's a safety issue. We want to keep everything the best we can. And I don't know if times are going to change here, but we have to roll with these punches. We have to roll with DOT, and because that's not going to change. And our vendors, they're busy too. So along with our vendors, our small buses, we had small buses that the oil cooler lines were seeping. It's not a safety issue, nothing we're going to hold the bus for. In fact, we thought that it was the undercoating, the rust proof that we put on all our buses. We thought that's what was running down. It was that small of a leak. But over time, we kept doing PMs on them. It's the line that's leaking. Okay, we're still not going to hold them, but we want to get them all done. So I'm putting them on our board over here on this side. And I can comment. So Sean sees that. He sees bus 122, 123, 124. And he can get the parts coming. And then now I'm under a bus and he can see I get a little alarm on my phone. It's Sean. He says, when can I get one? I've got enough to do 2 buses. Well, they're all on the road right now. How about tomorrow morning, I'll hold you a bus. Done. Let's do it. So it's that. There was no phone calls. There was no, let me look into my schedule. I'll give you a call back. He had time to think about it because he could see our problem. He had time to see that they had the cooler hose lines, and then we'll schedule them up. Same thing with our large buses. We had blower motors that only worked on 1 speed. DOT likes them working on 2 speeds. So the first thing we did, we tried to get blower motors and nobody could get them. Leonard couldn't get them. H.L. Gage couldn't get them. So we got a hold of our DOT inspector. They agreed it's okay, so long as we can maintain the temperature in the bus. So again, it's not a safety issue. We don't have to take these buses off the road. So Christine can be at her computer and see bus 804, 805, 806, 810, 113. They can see those. And pretty soon I get a little alert on my phone. Dan, I've got enough to do one blower motor showed up. I can either send you the blower motor, we can pick up a bus, or we can wait until all the blower motors come in and I'll send a tech down to do them all. And I'm under a bus while this is all going on. This is how fluent it is. And that's what we ended up doing. So at this time, Christine, would you like to just say a word or two about, or are we running out of time here? Okay, well, we don't need to do that then. But remember, I spoke about the snow removal equipment and how much time I would have to take every year to write that all on the board. Now, you can put as many slides together as you want, as many sheets. So I designed this sheet, and it's got little drop downs. The D means done, and L is a list. So every year you just pull this up and start over with all their equipment. And then you can just comment to the grounds department, hey, we're all done with Octave's equipment. I need Chango's equipment. Okay. They come over and pick it up. And until all 13 schools' equipment is done. Now, let's say Leonard does bring a bus down. It's a new driver. It's bus 805. We know about it because we've been commenting on it. And the driver's standing there. He says, yeah, I've got 805. I'm here to pick up 727. Where is that bus? I pull up this screen. And this is our compound. Well, we're right there by the 5 mile an hour signs. You're going to walk out 2 rows over to the right, and that's where you'll find your bus. So they're not walking around looking for buses. It also works with our new drivers. They don't know the lay of the lot. They will shortly, but so they can have this right on their smartphone.
Is that just an embedded picture?
Yes, it is. It's not a live view or anything. But you could do that. Because like I'm saying, this is an expandable system. We're all going to be getting EV chargers. And now the dealers can say that they don't require any maintenance. But we're going to have to go over these things. We're going to have to look at the cords. We're going to need some kind of a system to make sure that they're all in good shape. So right now, I'm planning on doing something on here, maybe another square with all the different chargers on it. There's also, I made a bunch of training videos. And this is another screen right on here. So all the drivers have this right on their phone. They can click on that link and it's got the static brake test. It's got all kinds of things. I know our trainers use these videos as well. I think I sent the link out to everyone. And this is what they see now. We just had this brake issue. I'm pretty sure everybody here knows about it. That's a picture of a brake that has come apart, and the manufacturer is taking them back. So we went through and took all of our brakes that were of this kind off, and we put better brakes on. Found out that other districts are all having this problem too. But what I'm getting at here, there's our screen. So when people walk by, the mechanics, guys, look for this. So you can use this in so many different ways. And it's expandable. This is just the way that we did it. You might have your head bus driver or head trainer operating this board. You might have the layout different. I know Sean is making one for his, and it's different than ours. So it can be anything that we want. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
or we just get this day.
Well, you could make it like that, but what we run into is we'll hold buses for PMs and stuff, and then two mechanics calling sick. You know, so that kind of pushes things back, or we have the buses held for DOT and then DOT cancels. So do we give them all back or just give some of them back? So it's as close to real time as we can get right now. Is there any other questions? Okay, not seeing any.
Thank you, Dan. We
yeah.
appreciate you very much coming up and talking to us today. Very innovative. All right, so our next presenters are our sponsors from today from Easy Routing. We have Jason Wang, we have Cody Carlo, and David Van Natten from Easy Routing coming up. Let's switch laptops.
First time we get, but easy routing. I think we got our money back. When I get, you get it, right? Yeah. So. How much time do we have?
30 minutes or so.
Yeah. So while they're setting up, I want to really, I want to personally appreciate all the work you have done. I have been in districts throughout the country. I have been challenged. Little dispatchers, sometimes mechanics, all this. I know how hard it is. This job really, really hard. And without paying you enough to do this kind of job, please do it. Because you have a mission. You believe in the significance of your job. Just bring kids to school back and support their education. That is also our mission. Easy Routing is a disruptor in this industry. We believe the current system are not good enough to support you. So that's why we came out with a brand new approach. What are the brand new approach? We wrote, so what I did, I bring the best brains in computer, maps, right? And I bring great people in this industry. We work very closely. So in our company right now, we have 3 people that's involved deeply day to day, helping us creating solutions that really serve you well. From a person who just retired from Pillsbury County, one of the largest in the country, another person who's assistant admin for another large school district, and the third person, director of transportation in Massachusetts, almost like 3,000 school district. So from small, medium, large. So part of the disruption is, in addition to bringing a great technology, we want to listen. This is great. I enjoy this short, brief presentation. It's an incredible innovation. But my question, how did you have to do this? Suppose a good software should already done it, right? So we have gone quite distance in delivering a single solution. What we emphasize is communication, collaboration, and coordination, right? So just quickly mention, like in our system, for example, the drivers, when they do inspections, there's a button they click
that instantly is going to bring you to the vehicle maintenance or something goes wrong. We can configure this inspection to say, okay, if this happens, click this. You need to take a picture at the moment, right? That picture instantly shows up to the head mechanics to see, okay, this is the problem. Instead of coming, so that communication, instead of going to the board, happens right in real time, right? So I just want to give you just a flavor of what we have here. Is we really, the spirit of that collaboration, communication, collaboration, tremendous job. Great job. We also have ability to create all kinds of inspections, not just, pre-trip. We can do during the day safety, end of the trip inspections, all go into program system, right? The other thing is this is what the name is called, easy routing. We want this to be very easy. We want this to, for somebody who know how to shop Amazon, they should be able to use our system. Like just wanted to, we don't have time to go to the detail. This is our routing platform. You can see that how do you create a route and what is a route? A route is simply a series of stops. Okay, the bus driver drives the vehicle, stop, pick up the kids, bring them to school. That's the route. And that's the tab on the top. You can see it here. Right. Each of the tab has ability to do search. So we like to embed the search. So if I say what is easy routing, is helping you to find the relevant information and take a relevant action. So all the tabs, all the menus designed to do that as efficiently as possible. So I wanted to give a, yeah, and it's also, this is the true calendar. I challenge you that this is the true calendar-based routing software. That means you can have different route, you have different recurrences, students have all kinds of schedules you can handle. Okay? So this is just a part of the routing. I want Cody to give you a few minutes, look at the flavor, high-level overview, and then we can, give you more opportunity to ask questions. Then we go from there. Okay, so yeah, you do this. Yeah, maybe you put it here. Okay, it's long enough.
Nope, we're not gonna reach from there.
Oh, okay. Because then you can put on this here instead of like. Okay. This goes right. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
So with easy routing, there was a few long-held standards in the routing software industry that we really wanted to shake up. One of the first ones seems to be on customer support. So a lot of the like big companies that most of you guys are used to, the standard for customer support has generally been 24 hours. So at easy routing, we really wanted to shake that up. And so our standard for customer support and customer service is actually 5 minutes. When you have a 5-minute problem, it should only take 5 minutes to fix. And so most of our customer support goes through this little blue bubble down in the corner here. And so basically over the last summer, which is the busy season at easy routing, the average amount of time that one of our clients waited to receive a response from our support team was actually 52 seconds. So when you have a problem, you bring it to our team and they're going to get you an answer to your question in 52 seconds. Generally, it's a lot, actually a lot shorter than that. And one of the other standards we wanted to shake up was on the mapping. So generally with these kind of programs, when you get the system first set up, you'll actually get a map of your county, and then the surrounding ones you have to buy separately. Usually you're actually responsible for updating that map over time yourself. Those are all usually manual map updates. Whereas with easy routing, we actually include free map updates for all of our clients. They happen actually automatically, usually about every 7 days or so. And so you're gonna get free map updates, you're gonna get live chat support, and then all of our clients are also gonna get unlimited free training for the lifetime of their use of our system. So you don't ever have to worry about being stuck with a system that you don't fully understand how to use. So we do have the unlimited training, the live chat support, and then there are also actually, if we go up in here, there are also embedded how-to videos all throughout the program. So if you can see that little red YouTube icon and you're trying to do like your computer assisted rollover at the end of the year, click on that little red YouTube icon and that's going to pop up a 30 to 90-second embedded how-to video to basically walk you through that function. One other thing that's really worth talking about with easy routing is Jason had mentioned that communication is kind of a fundamental piece of our program. So easy routing actually has the communications built right into the routing system itself. So if we go up to our real-time notifications, the awesome thing about having this tied in with all of our critical transportation data is if we have like a bus breakdown in the morning, maybe bus number 4, maybe it broke down in the AM after stop number 3, and I got to get a message just to the parents from stop number 4 and so on to let them know, hey, the bus is running late. There's going to be a replacement bus coming. It's 2 or 3 clicks. I filter down to exactly the 15 people that are affected by that change. I can type up my message and click send and get it out that fast, or I can use one of these message templates up here. And so basically what this is going to do, it's going to pre-fill that message with personalized information from our system. So you're going to see that keyword right up there. That's what you would see when you're sending out the message. And then on the parents' end, when they received it, this is what they would see. So this would allow you to basically send out personalized information to large groups of your students, or really all of them, all in kind of one fell swoop there.
So the fundamental difference is real time, you don't need to involve your communication people through Messenger or any other, right there inside. You choose to send your text message to our mobile app, real time notification. But that's just what added.
Absolutely. And the incredible thing about the way that our system manages parent communications is this actually doesn't rely on a parent to opt in. So a lot of times you'll see, you know, certain parents that for whatever reason just don't opt into the parent app that you guys have gotten from the routing vendor, and really most of the time that you're actually paying for. But when you have, you know, a late bus notification go out, that parent never opted into the notification, so they don't receive it. Now they're calling transportation and going, why didn't I know the bus was late? Why didn't I know that it was a different bus that was going to be coming? This system does not rely on them to opt in at all. So easy routing does include a complimentary parent app and web portal. For all of your parents that did take the time to opt in, they'll receive your email notifications that you send out both as an email in their normal inbox, as well as a pop-up notification through the app. But for your parents that just never, for whatever reason, opted into the app, they will still receive that important information in their email inbox at least.
Yes, so communication. So you talk about, you're very busy. So this is what we're trying to say. Understand how you come to your place and see how we do it. You understand you don't have to answer every phone call. So that's the company. Would that really reduce your stress levels that you already have up very high? So that's what is part of our disruptive technology. But even though I don't understand why nobody else doing that, because that's industry standard. Everywhere else, you have your Amazon and somebody drop your package and they send you a picture right at your porch. That's what we have to do. We have to set very high standards. If you come in today, said, my word is so perfect. I'm stress free. I say, thank you. Good luck. You don't need us. If otherwise, think about it. You want to have a happy life. Happy life is part of the stress. Stress is naked happiness, right? We're here. We're in capital region. And capital region is the capital of school transportation. And right now, easy routing becomes the third national routing software company with 400 plus districts throughout the country. And we grow in a few years, Nothing. And today, well, actually, part of the reason we deliberately not talking to our neighbors yet, because we wanted to make sure we have a solid solution. We don't want to tell you because I think you deserve something really polished and developed. This is a 5 years in the making, right? And the other thing is, we wanted to save that little bit of time that is something like say rotting. We don't want you to draw a boundary, manually creating all this, right? Our goal is let computer do 90% of the work and leave the 10% to you. So just give you one example. We had to do reroutes, rerouting for 70,000 riders for districts like that size. We did it in 3 days without staff. Now, yeah, can you imagine that you don't have to do that? So we do bulk of that. Part of the district, part of the secret sauce this year is we have the math experts. So we can modify the math. We can allow you to create for what restriction, right? In order to do that, and you can draw, you can select street sections. You can say, I don't want kids to cross this street, it's too busy. I don't want kids to walk along the left side, the right side. You can choose that, right? That information go into our algorithm. Then we know when we do the auto time, or we auto data, we respect, right? So the reason you say, oh, I have to draw a boundary for a stop so that I know I don't cross, that is not work out. Nowadays, okay, we literally, everything is driven by software. You know that Boyea had like 2 major crashes. It was on mechanical failure. The software product called the software drives those airplanes. You can fly anywhere. And I usually fly, sometimes I hit flight 12 hours international flight. I always get to the destination by the minute. Right? And straight away I complete it. Pilots adjust for emergency. Don't you think that's a better word for you? Hard working folks, I really love you guys. I set up a private foundation just to figure out how I can help you guys. That's how much I really love you guys. I think you guys are the new peacetime veterans. I don't say it's, it's very and one thing the first thing I went to a school district and asked them, say, what time do I need to go? Or like, check with your dispatchers. They said, 4 a.m. I said, oh, I've never been that up that early. So I have to have my alarm clock. And I did sleep the whole night because I did not want to be late. And 4 o'clock, and I was like, oh, I could not fall asleep. I never got up 4 o'clock, right? But these guys said, we do this for 20 years. 20 years. I said, wow, gee. The society owns a lot. I want to have it. Okay? 5 years time. That's what I have done for this. I have achieved financial success. I could have been inspired. And I find like, I want to. I think that's too much fun. I want to be part of it. I want to be part of that. So that's what we want to cover. Help you do the job. Help you try to communicate the work you have done with that board. Really, really learn from you. You allow me, I come to visit you. I want to see what additional things we can do to help you. And you don't have to worry about, we do a lot of things, I can agree. So if you say you want a software and that's costing maybe 5,000, 10,000, then it's practice. Plus the ability. That's not industry standards, at least. Not. Maybe there are pressure to do that. We buy $50 shoes. It's high, right? Did anybody go to a shelf and say, hey, that looks good, buy it, put it in, $50. Why don't you try for software that you're gonna use for years and cost you tens of thousands of dollars? That's a standard we disrupt so many things. That's why we are short on time. International. Okay. We have ability for you to evaluate electric vehicle, because do an electric vehicle route. Because we both are riding hardware. Almost everyone else rely upon third-party technology. They have no control. They can only optimize by the shortest distance and shortest time. But we can say set a range. We can set a range and say, okay, because it's an electric vehicle, only 50 miles, 200 miles, we can actually modify that range. Because temperature, terrain, think about it. So right now, we have the biggest players. I literally say the biggest players. Most sophisticated consulting companies, all using our system to do the things that we need to go, right? Like electric vehicle evaluation. We can actually route, individualize, like station planning, like another term that is coming out. Your station needs education, and the way we route station needs are different from regular students because they don't have a school and go there and bell time is determining that the kids actually has their own bell time as they go to school. Okay? We have to help with the biggest bus contractors. They said we have 10,000 buses we have to route. We have to do that. We were able to do these partners. Don't you think we're in a backyard? But don't you think it's worth give us a try? Let's just maybe help you retry. You got anybody interested, right? And that's the spirit of us working together as a partner. Really solve this problem. I always tell everyone, my desire to solve this interesting problem so much stronger than making money. Don't you guys need? They always say, Jason, how do you make money? I make money. Money, not the goal. The goal is helping people. The money is the means to achieve happiness. Really, happiness is very important. In our company, happiness is level one happiness, pleasure. We got, actually last year, all our entire company bring their families, we went to Disney, we have fun. We know how to have fun, pleasure. The level two is pride. Proud, but becoming a conclusion, the short 5 years, come to establish the players, bring the attention of large school district, pride. But most importantly, our fun comes from our purpose. We're in this world for a reason. Everybody gotta think about it. What's your reason to do this world? What's your reason to get in? Who are you going to help? Do you want to be partner of us to do more? Really ultimately solve the problem. And I came in, I invest all my money, spend all this with a conviction that there's a serious problem that's not resolved. And when I tried to attempt to solve this problem, I found the problem much bigger and the solution doesn't really get there. So there's a lot more problems. That's why I came back. So let's do more. Yeah, that's my story.
Right. Oh, they just took me out in that word.
Yeah.
I'll get back to it.
Right. So that's kind of I'll show you like, the way we do the maps, we know maps. Okay, that's the thing. I studied maps for 19 years. very important subject. And state government, one home of the state energy office. That office as part of the team. Hopefully, everything you probably know, I'm an immigrant. Very different kind of thing that I think about the country, what this country has offered me. I think that every day, that we are not doing enough for what the country offered me, my education, free education scholarship. And coming from a very poor family, grow up on the verge of starvation, into this country, give me all this respect, all this. I don't feel like that. Done enough, but that's the moment that New York is buying $9 billion worth of electricity from private sector. Anybody here? That's the time I was in energy office running, moving the system, value. And we in New York, not two. And the $9 billion buying electricity from Quebec. The Indians are here, protest, to destroy our ecosystem. And we're looking for major disruption, lots of money flowing out. I had to do evaluation for the impact. How many jobs we lost? We sent $9 billion to Quebec. Right? What can we do? Consolidation, efficiency, better coordination. Those are the skills I learned. How do we actually manage our power consumption at any given moment? How can we actually synchronize with weather? Those are very, very sophisticated, complex problems. When my team was together, did it, valued it, we confirmed again and again. We told Governor Cuomo, no, we don't need it, we can do it, and so contract. And I'm very proud of that piece of work that's done. Many years later, I see the school transportation. Just unbelievable. Go out, go to Florida, go to places. Kids waiting for buses, hours. Kids who are affected the most are the people who need the education. They need to be in the school on time. Please, if you miss 20 minutes on math, maybe English is okay. History, I hope that I don't have history here. It's okay. English, okay. Not math. Okay? Because they all need. You have broken knowledge points. You're gonna. So I am so passionate. I'm so worried about. I have tremendous anxiety. I worry about our kids not getting the country. They don't get to the school on time. They are not even getting it. Not to say good fact, right? You have to do that. Right? That's how we're doing. Yeah.
So I did remember my question. Going back to the messaging for the parents. Can school tool feed into your system to
Yeah.
those parents' messages?
We work together with the school tool. That's another thing that anything about like student SIC integration and nobody can solve it. Early days, like, oh, we have this software, we have a school tool, we have our tool, whatever. We said we guarantee, and a lot of people want this sign up. You can integrate, right? People buy it. We have never any question. Never. It's not an excuse to say, oh, our system doesn't integrate very well as that. We can integrate. Here, we don't integrate from bypass. 100%. So why would you want to re-enter the data into your routing software where you already have SIS? There's so much information that's going to be lost, right? School tool has been very, very well with a few clients around here for any SIS, 100%.
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to. Craig, what do we use in Gilroy? For the students. Doing that.
Or using e-school.
E-school, yep.
E-school data, yeah, we do that too. Yeah, e-school data. You know, we have a very seamless way to integrate, we and like, out of the different parts of the different, so that again, you know, the thing is, the SIS integration. I hate to say this kind of thing though, what I wasn't happy about industry standard, like, when they do this integration, they do this integration when they finish the product, the integration with SIS. So they use so-called auto import or whatever the import procedure. And that's like doing some dots on the wall to prevent it, right? That is not acceptable. So in our system, we view the information type, right? The SIS come in, the information come in. We have the intelligence to process that data. That data, even though this is a small sample, we analyze that data and says, okay, not all the SIS changes are equal. Some SIS are critical. For example, if you move to a different location, going to different school, those are automatically, linked for